All right, Rob, let's go here. Let's go to the Eastern Conference, where the Boston Celtics absolutely, positively, Rob, ran away from the field. All right, only the fifth team ever to win games by 11 points or more. All the other four teams won championships, not conference championships, league championships. They were 64-18. That was 14 games better than the second seeded New York Knicks. And Rob, when you look at how things are breaking for them, no pun intended, although it's accurate, appropriate. Jimmy Butler out. So they will either get the Chicago Bulls or a Miami Heat team without Jimmy Butler in the first round. Second round, they will either get Cleveland or Orlando, who just aren't as good as them. And then in the Eastern Conference Finals, they could get Milwaukee, they could get New York, Philadelphia. But right now, and things may change, but right now, Giannis isn't even set to start the series for Philadelphia. And Joel Embiid is playing on like one leg. Who knows? What is he, 70%, 80%? I don't know.
This sounds like a Warriors run to the championship without Kevin Durant. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it actually doesn't, but I don't even know what that meant.
No, there were a lot of guys injured that year.
Funny,
that's all. A lot of
which
guys
one?
Injured.
They won
the
two
first
without
one,
Kevin Durant.
The first one.
Yeah, I mean, they beat LeBron James wasn't injured.
LeBron
James wasn't injured. I'm talking about Giannis and Embiid, the two best players on their team.
Yeah, but Kyrie and Love were injured.
Was Kyrie the best player on the team?
Yeah, but still, and I can't remember the other. There were other two guards.
Kyrie's not Giannis or Embiid. I'm just saying, like, it's just not. It'd be like if Dame was injured, then maybe that would be more fitting. But no. But anyway, Rob, I'm going to say this. Now, again, I'm going to leave room for nuance because if Giannis comes back healthy and he and Dame and the Bucks are clicking and just start to play great, that might be far-fetched. But if that happens, or if Embiid suddenly looks spry and he is playing like he was earlier in the season, then the Sixers are legit. But as it stands right now, Rob, when I'm looking at the Eastern Conference right now, I'm saying if the Boston Celtics don't get to the NBA Finals, I'm not saying they have to win it, but if they don't get to the NBA Finals, Joe Mazzulla should be out of a job. Now, I'm not saying, again, I'm leaving room for nuance, but right now, with all these players injured, if he can't get them to the finals in this Eastern Conference, then, I mean, they were in the finals before he got there. And they took a step back last year in not getting to the finals. And so that's what I think should be on the line for the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, but do you have a clause in there that if one of their stars gets hurt, of course. Like
I said, I'm leaving room for nuance, of course. I mean, of course. I mean, everything, is not black and white. But I'm just saying, as it stands right now, absolutely. Because, I mean, what are we waiting for? I would feel like they need a tougher coach like a Ime Udoka or something. He's a great coach. He did great with them. He's done well with Houston. And I would need something like that. But look, I think the Celtics will get to the finals. So I don't think it'll come to that. But I'm just saying it's time to show and prove.
Of course, they should. I mean, with the regular season that they had, they haven't even played yet. I mean, I'm expecting them. I think it would be a disaster, Chris, if they don't get out of the East and at least get to the finals. I think the first year with Mazzulla, Oil there, it didn't work out to where they wanted it, but still, this year, there's no reason not to think that they will be there. If they get knocked off by somebody even if it's in the conference final, not an early exit, first round. Obviously, if it's first round, that's disaster. But you'd have to look at what happened in the Eastern Conference Finals, Chris, and make an assessment. But, yes, they should be getting to the finals. I mean, I don't think there's any other room. Now, winning is a different story. Mazzulla gets them there, Chris, and they lose. I don't. If they lose to Denver,
yeah, I'm not. I'm not.
It ain't tied on winning, right?
No. Just get to the finals, because I agree. Like, I think Denver. My pick is Denver over Boston. Rob, I feel like if the Lakers if they win this series against Denver, in my mind, I don't think most people's minds, in my mind, they become the favorite. Because I think they would beat Boston.
You think
the Lakers
would beat Boston? Wow.
Now, they would be giving up a lot, a big gap in threes, because Boston shoots them more than anybody, and they shoot them at a high clip. And the Lakers don't shoot a lot of threes, even though they shoot them pretty well. And so you might be outscored there, but I think they would just be a lot for Boston to handle inside. But you got Al Horford. I mean, it'd be interesting. But right now, I think if the Lakers beat them, I think they would be rolling. Now, the question there, too, though, is that would it take such a toll on the Lakers physically and emotionally, Rob, and more so physically, to beat Denver, that if they somehow got past Denver, they might not be able to finish their way through the rest of the West?
Well, that's the issue. I don't see them beating Denver.
I don't either.
You said, how many games you said?
Yeah,
6?
I got Denver in 6.
Yeah, I think that's more realistic. Last year, Chris, the sweep was unexpected. I told you before that game 1 when AD had 40 and they didn't win that game. That kind of was the beginning of the end. That's the game they should have won. Sometimes when you go on the road, the first game in the postseason, Chris, you could steal one if you're going to steal one. You remember when Allen Iverson played the Lakers in the finals, right? They won game 1 in L.A. You remember that? And that was it. You might get one. The other team thinks that they're at home and they got it together, and you go in and just go like, we just got to give it our all, but ultimately you're not good enough. So that's why it was a sweep. But I'm with you. 5 or 6, the Lakers will get a game or two, but I just think that Denver will win. And then the Lakers, if they do somehow pull the upset, it'll be shocking, and then they'd have a shot depending on who else is left. Yep. I don't know. I'm down on Phoenix.
I think Dallas looks good. Now Dallas, that's going to be a heck of a series. With the Clippers?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's going to be
That is going to be a heck of a series. And again, I mean, to me, it's about I'm not saying that Dallas couldn't beat them with Kawhi. I'm picking the Clippers with Kawhi. But if Kawhi's not himself, Rob,
no, it's going to be. But we've also seen them win without him. But I'm with you. It would be a tall order.
Yeah, they got talent, Harden and Paul George.
But when they went to the Western Conference that year, he wasn't available.
Right.
They still made it. And Ty Lue, we praise him all the time, Chris. We don't just crush coaches, right? Ty Lue, we think is a tremendous coach, and he's done a lot there. And I just wish I could just see 1 year when he has a healthy team and the way he coaches, Chris. Just once with Ty Lue.
When he had the team in Cleveland, they won the championship.
You're right.
The healthy team. So, no, I hear you. It's just unfortunate. And Howard Beck brought it up, Rob. A lot of these.
He's my new favorite writer, Howard Beck. I just want you to know that.
Oh, really? Because of Wemby? You would have done that to any.
Everyone knows it's Wemby. No, Chris.
Yeah.
That was a request by Howard Beck before he came on.
He sounded like he had never heard it.
Rob G, can you tell Chris? He asked for it.
Yeah, I'm going to pull back the curtain, America.
Yes.
So earlier today when I was texting Howard Beck about coming on the show, his first response was, okay, but only if Rob Parker admits he was wrong about Wemby. Like joking around from the
Right.
last appearance.
Right.
I'm like, actually, we have this.
What did you say about Wemby?
This would have been early on in the season when
that he wasn't going to be that good.
Yeah,
or
something like that, right? Because we haven't had Howard on,
in a while.
months. And I said, funny thing, he actually has a new drop in our system where he sings a song about Wemby. And he laughs about it, whatever, in the text. And I get him on the phone before we get on the air. I'm like, I wanted to let you know we do have the song queued up if you want to hear it. He's like, well, I kind of need to hear it now at this point. We've been texting about it
Right.
for a
I
couple
wanna hear
hours. I kind of got to hear it.
Right.
So we queued it up just for him.
So it wasn't exactly a request from Howard Beck.
Yeah, he had to hear it to feel better about his life.
But it wasn't like he knew about, like he came on talking about, I want to hear this.
He's like, hey, the streets are talking about this new Wemby song.
Right.
It's sweeping the nation.
Nobody's heard that song, and I've never heard
What are you talking
the
about?
Association.
What do you mean?
When I hear the Association, I think the NBA.
They had the name first, and Stuart Scott stole it from the Association of Musical Group.
I never heard of that group. Was this even a hit?
Yes. Wemby? Are you kidding? It's Wendy.
Wendy?
W-I-N-D. Yeah.
When was that? Like the 50s?
No, 60s.
Yeah, I never heard.
It's all good, Chris. You know what? You could be cultured. You could read other things other than the Bible. I'm just saying.
Oh, I do. I'm very well read. You come to my house. I've actually taken youths, teenagers in my house, through my house.
Right.
And said, tell me what you notice in every single room.
They're books.
Including the kitchen. Yes.
Books and cobwebs.
There are books.
Because the house is so big.
No kidding. That's got to be like the most subtle flex I've ever heard. I'm so rich that I got books in every room of my house.
It's not a flex. It's like, look, the importance of reading.
I'll say this, Chris. One thing I will agree with you. If you go to somebody's house and they don't have any books, that's a sign. I'm dead serious.
Like,
I'm not talking about a library off to the wing.
Right.
But if you don't see any books, that there's no reading going on, that's a sign.
The thing that and we do have books in every room, but when it really was driven home to me, Rob, Ben Carson, who was the great doctor. Or is the great doctor. But he, grew up in the hood in Detroit, and his mother worked for wealthy people cleaning their homes. And she noticed that all of the wealthy people she worked for, one of the things they had was books all over the place. And Ben Carson was a poor student, terrible student, he was worse in his class as a young kid. And she started making him and his brother do book reports every week. Once she saw that, she said, because I see this, there's a connection there, reading books and wealth. And she had them start doing that. His grades changed. He obviously became incredibly smart and a great student. And, the rest is history. So, yeah, but books.
Yes.